Today we're going to show how to put an ALG trigger into your AK. It'll take about 5 to 10 minutes. It's a pretty easy job. We'll show you a couple of tricks we've learned along the way to try to make it a little easier for you to do. These are the tools we use to do this. You have a pick, a spent shotgun shell, a pair of needle nose pliers, and if you can, the slave pin for your trigger. First thing first, always make sure your firearm is unloaded. No surprises there. Pop off the dust cover. Take out your recoil assembly. I pull the carrier out just to make it easier for more room. Take your safety up and out. Squeeze the trigger down, that way your hammer's reset. Hook your spring up and out of the way. Both of these little guys. And a little trick here, take a spent shotgun shell, slide it over those little nasty springs so you don't get any snake bites. Then remove your retainer plate. Then you got to push these two little pins out, which hold your fire control group. This one right here is for the actual trigger itself. Comes right out. This one right here is for the hammer, which takes that right out. Now, these are your new parts that the kit comes with. A new hammer, disconnector, the actual trigger assembly, new disconnector spring, and if you don't have a retainer plate, just makes your life a lot easier to put one in because they don't have to worry about the shepherd's hook, and they're only $4. So first thing you want to do is reuse your older hammer spring. So you pull the shotgun shell off, very carefully release the spring tension so you don't whack yourself. And then the spring just slides out of there. Easiest way to remember how this goes back on, the fangs down with it laying on its back just like this. It hooks right back up in there. Swing the spring forward. Hook it back over the hammer so it looks like that. Just keep your fingers on there tight. Take the shotgun shell, slide it on over, locks it in place. Now for the trigger, if you have an original cleaning kit, they come with this neat little piece called a slave pin. What this does is when you put your spring into the disconnector and put the disconnector spring into the groove there, you slide this pin in there and it holds the whole assembly together so you can slide it in one piece. If you don't have that, you can still put it together without too much hassle. So you slide your hammer in there, back into the receiver, take your trigger pin, slide it through, make sure you get all the way through the other side where you see it poke out, drop in your trigger. As you slide it through, it'll push your slave pin right out of the way. Take your retainer plate. That just hooks right in there. Put your safety in. Let down your springs. Now make sure when you do it that the springs stay on the actual trigger, not on the side of the receiver. Just cock your hammer. Put your bolt carrier back in. Recoil assembly. Dust cover. Now, one thing you got to make sure of, with the safe on, you want to grab the trigger and squeeze as hard as you can. Sometimes, on some guns, you will need to add an extra pin that the ALGs come with so that your safety will reach and keep you from firing on safe. That's why I'll squeeze real hard, because if it's not on there, it'll fire on safe, which can make for a bad weekend. And that's all it takes to put an ALG into an AK. Pretty quick, about a 5 or 10 minute job. Hopefully this video and the little tricks we showed you make it a little easier for you to do yourself, so that way you can have a good day shooting.